is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2016 SJ Porr Challenge is dedicated to your friend and ours, Paul Wickstein. Brought to you by Brewcraft USA, iMake, Gladfield Malting, Yakima Valley Hops, The Grain Bill, Brewers Exchange, Keg Kingdom Homebrew Supply, Hiraki Homebrew, and a special thanks to our silver sponsors.
Okay, well, we're back again. Decided we're going to do another beer review tonight. So, looking at 28 Victor, 74 Lima, 58 Zulu, which is the style of this beer is an ultra light milk stout. It says it's a 4.2% ABV, chocolate roast, lightly nutty with a touch of bitterness on the finish. So, I'm really interested on this beer just because it's a light milk stout. So, let's get this thing cracked open. A little small hiss there. Alright, so let's get a pour on this thing. Okay. Alrighty. So another beautiful beer. Nice chocolatey type pillowy head on it. Looks nice and fluffy. Got some really good carbonation coming up from the bottom. You know, just coming up the side of the glass. It's a pretty color. It's kind of a black, almost a root beer looking color on this beer. But nice, like I said, nice, you know, 1-2 finger head when I first poured it. Yeah, nice looking beer. So let's get a nose on this thing. So I catch the chocolate. So I get that coffee note. Not huge chocolate, but just a faint chocolate. You know, this reminds me of, on the nose anyway, it reminds me of that hazelnut coffee creamer. Yeah, kind of a hazelnut chocolate coffee. So I don't catch any hop presence on it, and like I said, the heck doesn't stay around too long. But yeah, I don't catch any hops coming off of it. And almost kind of a sweetness in it. All right, well, cheers to y'all. I'm going to dive in here. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. It's definitely got a lot of coffee, roasted malts, a little bit of chocolate. That hazelnut is kind of pronounced in the taste. You know, it's nice and smooth as it goes over the tongue, and just maybe just a hint of bitterness in the middle. Yeah, but roasted malts all day long. All right, well, I'm gonna let this light, ultra light milk stout warm up just a little bit. Spend a little time with it, maybe make some notes, and be right back. Okay, well, I'm back. So, spend a little time, you know, getting the nose off of it, tasting it, aerating, doing all that good fun stuff in it. It's a very interesting beer. I mean, it's an ultralight milk stout. The head comes on real heavy when poured, but then dissipates really quickly. The carbonation level on it, you know, when I first poured it, there was a good amount of carbonation coming up. As I've let it warm up and that kind of stuff, carbonation, it's still there and it's still pretty decent. On the nose, you know, I get more of that roasted barley type smell on it. The coffee kind of comes through and there's just a slight bit of chocolate, but I still catch just a hint of that, and I want to say it's like that hazelnut creamer, but it's not that creamy hazelnut smell. It's kind of a just hazelnut. The flavor of it, it's great, you know, great light milk stout. It has that roasted barley, has that coffee note, a little bit of chocolate. That hazelnut still kind of comes through, especially as it warmed up. There is a very slight bitterness to it in the middle, but very light, very, very light. And I know this is a low ABV, and this beer is, you know, 4.2%. But when I think of a stout, you know, I think of a big, malty, you know, silky, you know, that mouthfeel just kind of coats your whole mouth, and you get that sweetness from the malt, and then, you know, big roast and big coffee and chocolate and all that stuff. And so for this beer, for what it is, low ABV, you know, it's not a bad beer. I would like, and I know it's hard to do that, but I would like to see just a little bit more mouthfeel to it, a little bolder, a little, you know, fuller mouthfeel. But again, it's low ABV, so what are you going to do? For a session milk stout, it's a good beer. I mean, it's a great beer for what it is. But I think if I was going to go for a session beer, I would definitely lean something different outside of a stout or a porter. But for what it is, hey, you know, it's a good beer. It's a really good beer. I drink it. I enjoy drinking it. A little on the light side as far as, like I said, the mouthfeel of it. But yeah, I think I could maybe get into maybe one, maybe two. But anyway, for style, you know, you get that roasted barley coming through. You get some of that coffee and that chocolate, and there is kind of a slight silkiness to the mouthfeel. So I think for style, aside of it not being real big as far as that big barley, that big roasted chocolate, you know, mouthful type, cut with a knife. But yeah. Anyway, cheers to the brewer. This is a really interesting entry with it being an ultra-light milk stout. I like the beer, but I think if I was going to go pick this up off the shelf, I'd want something just a little bit thicker. Anyway, cheers to the brewer. They did a great job. Great entry. Cheers to y'all.